Get out of my way. It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, bruising runner Leonard Fournette, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Club entering play here. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Here's Foles. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. That is a quick strike, one play all the way to the house. You know, the pass was fine, but that run after the catch, impressive.
An absolute horrible time. Of course, any time like this is a horrible time for a defensive breakdown. But where's the tackling? Where were the safeties? You don't expect him to catch the ball, and next thing you know, he's running into the goalpost this early in the game. That's not supposed to happen.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, 12 carries, 67 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
On 1st down, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Watson, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. They'll run it with Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Have no idea where they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
36 to Mike. Come on, baby. Come on.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the gun, here's Watson. The quick slant caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense... And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They go with Leonard Fournette, 3rd-year back from LSU. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Let's go!
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. These two teams all tied after one. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Watson, steps away. He's got the first down inside the 10. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans have taken the lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Gearing up for their next possession, Nick Foles and the Jags. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
Here we go.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 45 on 2nd down, Foles.
I'm coming after you.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Now Foles. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have to...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Jags grab it. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and it's now 17-14. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Come get some. Come on.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
36, 36.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. On 2nd and 11 now. Foles open out on the left side. This is Cole. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Foles. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Watson. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Watson, flushed out right. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Watson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins in the final seconds of the first half. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
We've been together a few years, and you know that I really ride the wave of old momentum, don't I?
Yes, you do.
There is a heck of a difference between being down 6 and possibly being up 1. And right now, they've got that opportunity.
No doubt. That is a big-time score and a big-time swing in momentum. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. 25 yards that time. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Faking the give. Now Watson rolling to his right. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Watson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Watson now to throw. Buying time to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 3rd down.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal.
Hey, 31. 36 to Mike. You don't want to go.
Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And it's a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Texans push further out in front. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. To throw on 2nd and 10. Foles out to Cole on the right side. 12 yards there and a first down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if we're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Fournette running out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Give me some. Here we go. Slam. Bobo's the Mike. Mike's Bobo.
On 2nd and 10, Watson dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
He's going to rifle one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with him. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there, let him go get it.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over at the 20. So here are the Texans to take over. They've got the lead right now as they start this drive 1st and 10. Of course, remember they beat the Saints a week ago, so some good momentum rolling right now. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read?
He's got him in. Complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 32 that time.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
They give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On 1st down, Watson over the middle, it's Fells. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves. They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. From the gun on third, Watson steps away to his left. He can run, and he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Foles. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense, it's going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 25.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Johnson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And Watson's going to throw it here. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Jags grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, that's the third time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them, but the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one fumble, twos, oh my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Now Foles. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Foles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
They'll look to throw again. It's complete, and he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll run on first down. Johnson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.